Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be sharing to you the popular books I haven't read and or probably will never read. So I'm a year and a half behind on my BookTube videos, like my subscription, so I feel like these are very dated from like early 2019, late 2018, so these are a little bit dated, but I still feel like nevertheless these books are still very popular, but I just have no desire to read them or get into them or anything like that. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up I have Children of Blood and Bone, and this book was insanely popular and everyone was talking about it and it had a lot of praise, but I don't know if this is just something that I can get into. A lot of these are fantasy based, I think, so I think maybe that's why I'm very picky about my fantasy, just because like it's like if it's too like epic fantasy and it's like really complex and I'm like, I don't have time for this basically, like to invest that much brain power into it, because well, I already do that enough every day anyways. But yeah, like I don't know, like people say it's like the magic system is like what is it, the last airbender, which I don't know what that means, but it's just like, I don't know, if you guys think this is something like I need to read, let me know, but I just don't really, I'm not really interested in it. I know like it's a very good you know, diversity, like in terms of integrating diversity into it, this book is very good, but I don't know if the plot is something that I would be very interested in. So this is one that I'm on the fence about because I'm like too skeptical about it, because I'm like, the hype is just too much for this one and I don't know if I will enjoy it. But it is the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I've heard really great things about this. I've heard like people have cried reading this, like it blew people's expectations. So if you guys read this and think I will enjoy it, let me know. But it does like seem interesting to me. I think for me the biggest thing is just that I'm hesitant because of the hype around it, and I'm like, oh, like there's so many books that I have, you know, bought and tried to read that were just so hyped and I just did not like. So I'm like on the fence about this one. Maybe I would get the book from the library and see, but I don't know, like it seems like an interesting plot, just like the kind of the like cycle of, you know, having like the Hollywood marriage where you just kind of have one after another and after another. Like it would be very interesting to read from that, but I don't know if it's just the hype is just too much and like people are just, you know, hyping it up and I'm just like, I don't know. But if you guys has read this one, let me know, because I'm still on the fence about this one. Next is the Stalking the Jack the Ripper like series. I don't know the author for this one, but I know there's like different eras of this and people have said like they've really enjoyed it. Some people have said they haven't, and like it does seem a very interesting concept, especially like the Jack the Ripper like setting in England. I think would be very interesting in like that gothic setting. But I feel like because this is like a YA, I feel like it won't bring that true atmosphere like I do for like these historical things. I'd like it to be as dark and realistic and graphic as possible, because I feel like that is how you can accurately kind of experience that. So I don't know, like I'm still like, I've heard people who've really loved this one, people who haven't, but I think like, I don't know, if I want to read something from that era, I want it to be dark and gritty and graphic and gross, because I feel like that's how you totally get that atmospheric setting. So although I find this series to be very interesting and just like the concept to be, you know, very unique, I don't know if I like that, like the way it's written. This one is like 100% I know I'm not gonna read, and it is the Laura Jean series. Like I don't know, like there's all this hype around this trilogy. Like I had, even like when I first started BookTube, when I was just buying books because everyone was talking about them, I was like, this is the one series I was just like, yeah, no. I don't know, even like the movies just look like, I don't know, I'm not into that type of stuff, and just like the name Laura Jean is just kind of like, I don't even like the name. But yeah, I just like, I don't know, it seems very juvenile and like YA-ish, and just kind of like, oh, I wrote a letter and addressed it and I just happened to write all their addresses on the front. Like, who does that? But yeah, I don't like love triangles. I don't like kind of bouncing back and forth between boyfriends, and it's just like, not for me, and I could really care less about it. So these are just 3 authors in general. The first one is Brandon Sanderson. Anything from him, like I said, fantasy I'm very particular about, and I feel like his fantasy system, although it's very much praised, I just don't really have an interest in it. It just is not really my cup of tea. Like I said, I don't like epic fantasies like that, and I think I've heard like some criticism about it just in terms of the, you know, over masculinity of these characters and the way the female characters are written, and I do think those are problematic, and I know that would kind of distract me from everything else, so I'm not even going to invest my time in this author or any of his works. The same goes for Cassandra Clare. I have no interest in reading anything she writes, and I feel like because all her series, like she just writes in that one world, it's like a 25 book commitment, and I have no desire to read that. Like I think, like I appreciate people who've like grown up with this series, but I think like it's just not something I can get to now as someone who's in their mid-20s. Like I don't think I can get behind this stuff, and it's just like I said, that kind of early 2000s YA is like, nope. And I like even tried like the Clockwork Princess series. I think I read the first chapter in the library and I was just like, nope, I don't really like demons. And lastly, anything by Riordan. And I think for me, like I never really learned any of like the mythology in school. Like I don't know why I never did, but I just never did, so I don't have that background going into that. And I feel like the people who grew up with the Percy Jackson series, which I've never read, like I don't think like I can get invested in that. And it's like the mythology, like Roman, you know, Greek mythology, I think is very interesting, but I don't think I can like invest myself into all of the series. And I don't know, even tried the Heroes of Olympus series, wasn't for me, so I don't know. I just like, that's like an author like everyone loves, and I think because everyone grew up reading like the Percy Jackson series, but it just, I don't know, I think that ship sailed and then I was still on land when it happened. So yeah, I don't know, not for me. So that's it guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what some of the popular books that you don't plan to ever read, or if there's ones in here that I talked about that you think I would actually enjoy, let me know. I'm trying to keep an open mind. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.